Good evening, and ladies and gentlemen, welcome to UFRL. And tonight it is Tier 2 around the streets of Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, of course. And a very tricky, fast-flowing circuit for all the drivers to get used to this evening, as the title battle continues at the top, and obviously battles flowing through the entire grid as well. But how will all the drivers fare? Again, plenty of walls. I think there are 27 turns in total here at Jeddah. So with 27 corners, which one is somebody going to crash out at? Well, the likelihood is turn 4. A very, very large possibility. We'll actually have a look whilst there is a couple of drivers. Both Alpines are the first two. So we'll give you a quick, easy update into which corners are easy to crash out at. The one that Gandalf is just about to come up to here. A very tight left-hander, turn 4. Very easily get your left wheel caught on the inside there. So that's one easy place to be crashing out of here around Jeddah. And again, through the S is tricky, but on the outside there is typically a bit of runoff area. So if you do make a mistake, it's unlikely to throw you in the wall, but you've always got the inside walls as well, causing some problems. So already, that's one sector in, and you've got a couple of good spots to crash out at. I say a couple of good spots, obviously, if you're a driver, a couple of bad spots. Again, this one here, tight right-hander, could always cut on the inside of that wall. And again, on the exit, it's not easy. If you get on the curb, and that will get you into the wall on the exit, potentially. So again, that's 4 spots. And the 5th spot will be just here as well, heading into turn 22. And again, this one, a very tricky left into the right, and I get that wrong, and again, that's another place where you are gonna struggle. So yeah, there's probably a good 5 or so places where you can comfortably crash here. Not good, obviously, if you're a driver, but if you nail it, you can go home with the victory. So anything can happen here this evening, as Gandalf will be the first driver to kickstart his lap, and his teammate Jar Jar Bing will also follow him through. So what can Gandalf do here as he emerges through? Obviously, he still is technically a title contender, although his hopes are sort of flowing away at this stage. Just keep on board with Gandalf. Make sure he does not hit the inside wall through turn 4. He does avoid it nicely onto the curb on the outside. There are yellow flags through the back end of sector 3. It does look like just a Red Bull going slowly. But Gandalf nicely on the curb as well on the exit, which allows him to flow through the S's nicely. And again, comfortable on the on the exit. And it is, of course, a 32.400 purple through the first sector. We'll compare that with Jar Jar. No, we won't compare that with Jar Jar. Let's have a look towards Angry Badger, just having a look at his first sector. 33.418. You got Spills, 33.093. Strong from him. Menon going through a 33.429. You got Mickey down there as well. What about Warner? Where's he at? He's in the pits. Simon did actually go purple as well. Let's go back towards Gandalf, though. And he has got a 101.074 through the middle sector. We'll stick with Gandalf for the remainder of his first hot lap, as he looks to flow through into the final sector. And Gandalf will get the quickest time on the board as we head into the final corner, down at turn 27. The left-hander will lead you all the way to the line here at Jeddah. And obviously you've got the pit lane to the left-hand side as well. But Gandalf on the lap will be a 28.371 for Gandalf. And of course that is the quickest time. Jar Jar being invalidated on his effort. Let's head back towards the Ferrari Angry Badger. 29.980 for him. His teammate Spills coming through. 130.881. Definitely slower than he was expecting. A 31.0 as well for Menon, and I am Batman. 29.9 goes 4th. Simon goes 2nd. A 29.6. The closest so far to Gandalf, who is very, very quick so far on the timings. ARC Mickey, can he do anything about that? Into the 29s as well. 29.6. And Gandalf is 1.3 seconds clear. A 28.3. Next best is a 29.6. Wow. But what about the Haas pairing? Working together, Woody in front of Viking Fox. Woody coming home with a 29.3. Viking Fox is only P11, 31.9. Obviously gave a slipstream to his teammate, but nobody is close to Gandalf. 1 second. Over a second. 1.005 seconds separates Gandalf from Woody. Incredible. I mean, that is some lap time there, I have to say, by Gandalf. And is that going to be pole position already? Is pole position already sewn up here by Gandalf with that phenomenal time compared to his rivals? It may very well be that he does take this pole position, and he kind of needs it for his championship hopes. The championship was sort of opened up by Warrener and also Viking Fox last week. Warrener now leads by 19 points over Viking Fox. Warrener has a qualifying ban, however, this evening. That's why they're trying to get Viking as high up as possible. It's down in P11, but I do believe he might be on a lap. So let's have a look. He's not improving through the first sector. This may be a cause for concern here for Haas. Viking Fox down in P11. Not improving through the middle sector. He is trying to go through and he is trying to get a slipstream as well. Oh, nope, he's backed off. He's completely backed out of his lap. So, for Viking Fox, well, he's got to find some more time. If he goes into the pits or goes again, let's see what he decides to do. He is going for another run, as is Woody. So they're both going again here for the Haas pairing, so we'll just stick with Viking for now. Other drivers will be trying to set lap times. William also starting a lap behind in the Mercedes. But yeah, for Gandalf currently, the gap between himself and Warrener currently stands at 45 points heading into this race. 45 points is the gap between Warrener in first and Gandalf in third. And in terms of boy knockout, he's 57 points further back. So, yeah, it's tricky now for Gandalf and Boy Knockout. They have had some strong seasons, but it looks like it's going to be a third time unlucky for Gandalf. A bit like Arsenal, really, in a way. And then you got Boy Knockout, obviously, in fourth. But yeah, Warrener and Viking Fox, 1 and 2 at the moment. Team Turner, Woody, and Warrener all retiring. It's actually Woody has crashed out, in fact. William would have just gone past him, but yeah, Woody has crashed out, so he is out of qualifying. Viking Fox is improving by 3/10. The question is, I don't think that's a purple middle sector, because 3/10 would find him into the mid 131s, which is only level with Doug. And Viking Fox, well, let's hope he gets a strong final sector. Maybe that's where he could have lost all of his time before. If he can nail down this final sector, who knows how close he can be to the top. Viking Fox, it's second for him. He does get ahead of his teammate Woody. A 29.354, and he's onto the front row. But at least now he's under a second from Gandalf. But the fact that he is still 1 second from Gandalf, I don't really know why Gandalf is going again. I would have probably said to him, why don't you just keep your tyres fresh? Would that not have been a smarter way to do things? Woody Fernandez, meanwhile, is currently in P12, yet to set a time, is trying now. Jar Jar Bing as well, going through the middle sector and into the final sector now. But yes, I don't really feel like Gandalf needs to keep going out there. Yes, there might be some great times coming in, but a 28.371, I'm not really sure how many drivers are going to be able to beat that. If any. Can anyone beat a 28.371? Epic Frenchie retires now, and Jar Jar Bing makes it an Alpine 1 and 2 on his return. And Jar Jar Bing showing he's not exactly tier 3 because he's just under a second away. But that is phenomenal from Jar Jar Bing. P2 for the Alpine. Angry Badger just starting his lap. You've also got Simon in the middle sector. Woody Fernandez, let's go towards him. He'll be just finishing his lap rather. Just behind Doug, just ahead of him. May get a little bit of a slipstream from his Mercedes teammate as well. Although a little bit too far back actually. William coming through a 29.536. It's into the top 5 for Fernandez. And he slots between Woody and ARC Mickey here in qualifying. And let's drop further down, have a look towards the kick-sab of Simon, who was gaining by a couple of tenths of a second again. It's not going to be close towards Gandalf here, but might slot him onto the front row potentially. Can he nail down that final sector? That's the big question. It's a 29.1 and he does go second fastest now. So half a second quicker than his previous run. Again, A lot of work for these drivers to do as Gandalf goes even quicker, a 28.290. He probably didn't even need to improve. He has improved. I'm going to be honest. I really get the feeling that Gandalf does not need to go again. Simon has now crashed out. Simon is out. Oh my goodness, he really is out. There's no joke about that. Simon has crashed out. Was that on the inside wall? It is a massive possibility that it was the inside wall that caught him out there. But yeah, you can see Gandalf trying to go, well, not going again, obviously, he is just trying to get himself into the pits, but I'm going to be pretty sure he'll be better off if he's been told by maybe his TP or his team. He doesn't really need to go again, let's be honest here. He really doesn't. Save a set of tyres. Good evening, Woody. I would say hope you're doing well, but you're going to be stuck in the pits for the remainder of this session. Good luck for the race, though. You might be fifth. You might not be fifth. one of the two. I would say there's a 50-50 chance of that, but there isn't because several drivers are going to be trying to beat your time. Incredibly, though, 6 drivers already have retired from a session. Obviously, a few of those would have had a few of those drivers would obviously have engine penalties. However, 6 drivers in total out of 16 have retired. Wow. He is killing it, says Woody, regarding Gandalf. Yes, he truly is. Yeah, you just can't argue it either. I am Batman just about is not on a lap. Let's go towards somebody who is on a lap, shall we? If we can find them. Melon or Baker Gaming, potentially it is Baker Gaming actually, so he is on a lap, gaining by over a second through the middle sector split. So you would anticipate an improvement here from Baker Gaming. But a big question will be, how much of an improvement can he gain? Obviously he is a tier 3 title contender as well, so he'll be hoping that he can get a good time here. Baker Gaming across the line, it's P7 with a 1:29.590, and he will be out qualifying ARC Mickey, who is a former Tier 1 and Tier 2 champion. He worked hard for this, glad it worked. Well, it's one thing working hard for pole position, it's another thing working hard and getting a race win out of it. That's what Gandalf needs to do. He needs a race win, and he needs to hope the likes of Warner and potentially Viking Fox as well have an off day. But for Gandalf, he definitely needs to win here tonight, really. So yeah, if Gandalf wants a title, that's what he needs. Dug into the pit. Let's have a look at Melon. Currently has the slowest time of all the drivers to have a lap time on the board. He is gaining through the middle sector using all of his deploy. A 30.7 does remain. P13 for Melon for the V-Carb this evening. So Spills out there again, not on a lap. Baker Gaming we just saw. Viking Fox has invalidated. So he might have to go for a potential final set of tyres here. Let's have a look at the race director who has used 2 sets. Oh, Gandalf's used all 3 apparently. Oh no, that's the tyres that they're trying to watch out for. Jack, are you going to be telling your teammate to retire? Surely Gandalf does not have to set another time. I mean, you know, when you're 9/10 of a second clear, I don't think you need to do another time. 28.2 would do him well in Tier 1, yeah, it would. But who knows for next season? Maybe he is. Did Gandalf miss a couple of corners? Phenomenal lap. Yeah, he just straight line turned 4, I think. He straight line turned 4 and made it straight rather than a corner. Yeah, I don't know how he managed that, but that's what he did. I'm pretty sure. Otherwise, I have no idea. Let's go down towards Spills and the Ferrari as he will head into the pits, actually. So never mind that. Back towards Melon, potentially. Again, not on a lap. So no driver on a lap, but there are going to be drivers just starting a lap, including Gandalf. I really don't understand this. I'm going to be honest. I am completely perplexed as to why Gandalf is going again. Like, is that really necessary? You've got 9/10 of a second of a gap over second place in qualifying, and you're going for a 3rd run. I mean, I don't understand that strategy from Gandalf, I cannot lie. I think he's overthinking it. I really think he's overthinking it. I think he, even if he qualifies second, if somebody beat his time at the end, second is still a very strong position. I really don't understand going and using all of his sets of tyres here. And what I don't understand, definitely, is Jar Jar Binks not giving him a slipstream. Yeah, I don't get this though. Oh, he has clipped the wall there. Has that cost him? Has that cost him any time through into the middle sector? Let's have a little look here for Gandalf. But yeah, I'm very much a bit baffled as to why he is going again. He is improving through the middle sector by 0.003 of a second. Doug is the next driver to retire as well. That's in the pit. We've only got a few drivers out on track. Then again, half of them have retired due to either engine penalties or crashing out or feeling that they cannot improve. But can Gandalf? Yeah, he's just aborted his lap. I mean, I don't understand that strategy. I'm going to be honest. Yeah, very confusing to me as to why he's done that. Jar Jar Binks, meanwhile, he is going again, currently in P3. So we'll see if he can improve. Viking Fox also just behind him. Willie Fernandez hasn't validated, but he can go for another lap. So we'll see what William can do here. 90 seconds of qualifying remaining. And, well, there's not going to be a fight for pole position by the looks of things. I mean, if there is, fair play to that driver who is able to compete. Angry Badger is out there gaining by a couple of tenths, still gaining by 2.5 tenths. I am Batman in the final sector as well. Can the Red Bull fly up into that top 10, or will Batman just miss out to the two Ferraris? Let's have a look. It is currently Red Bull versus Ferrari through the back end of that top 10, and Batman heads into the pit. So it will be Mickey, Badger, Spills, then Batman, unless Melon can improve. Let's have a look towards Badger. He's improving. It's up to P6 for Badger. Fantastic lap from him. 6th fastest for Angry Badger. And he's now ahead of William. He's ahead of Bakey. He's out-qualified ARC Mickey as well. Superbly done from him after his podium, by the way. His first ever UFRL podium last week for Angry Badger at Austria in the reverse grid race. What a performance he'd had then, I've got to say. And if it weren't for Woody winning the race, I would have said he was a slam dunk possibility of the driver of the day, but I think Woody would have obviously taken that one. But yeah, William has now invalidated his run. Viking Fox 29.0 has gone quicker. Jar Jar Binks does not go faster, but Viking Fox there in second place, 29.008. That's him pretty much done. Willie Fernandez goes into the pits. And I think that's pretty much qualifying done and dusted here. We've got a couple of drivers, Spills. Melon rather may just be the last driver to set a time, and he will be. So we'll just stick with Melon then for the time being, but qualifying has been done here. Unless Melon can find some time through the final sector and the middle sector, of course. We're just approaching the Sector 2 split time. And for Melon, he is gaining by 0.4 of a second. That could gain him the place on Doug. And push him up to P12 as things stands. But yes, Melon, the only driver seemingly improving here. I would have gave it a shot, but I am missing a wheel. Yeah, no worries, no worries. Just don't want to be missing a wheel for the race. Right, Melon, up to the line. Can he get ahead of Doug and out-qualify the Mercedes? Yes, he can. He goes into the top 10 for the V-Carb. Ahead of Spills, ahead of Batman, and ahead of Doug. But yeah, what a grid order we have got. And Gandalf, very impressive here with that lap time. Now, he has to keep showing that into the race. There's no point setting a lap time as quick as that if you're going to struggle in the race. So for Gandalf, the pressure is on. Viking Fox, meanwhile, second. He'll be happy with the front row start. I think he'll be a little bit worried by the pace that Gandalf is showing. And he'll be hoping as well that Gandalf's pace isn't as quick in the race. And Jar Jar Binks also on the second row for Alpine. So Alpine looking strong here, first and fourth. And Haas as well, second and fifth. So it could be Alpine versus Haas with a Kick-Sauber in between the pair of them. just wait then for the final driver, which is Viking Box, who is just into the pits now. He may retire his car if he wishes to, because that is the easiest way to get out of the qualifying session, and we can head to the classification. Yeah, very impressive lap there from Gandalf. He'll be delighted with that effort. And now we'll see if he can step up his game as well for the race. Take that victory, that all-important win as well for him. He needs it. He needs it desperately here. So your short qualifying classification, Gandalf on pole, 28.290 and 7 tenths to gap over Viking Fox in P2. Simon third fastest, just ahead of Jar Jar Bing for the Alpine, with Woody lining up on the third row despite crashing out early doors. He starts alongside Angry Badger, who is an impressive P6. Williams 7th, with Bakey Gaming 8th from ARC Mickey, and it's Melon in the top 10. Spiels, Batman and Doug. And then you've got the 3 drivers at the back. Team Turner 14th, Epic Frenchie 15th, and Warner will start in P16, heading to Jeddah. But yeah, for Gandalf, yeah, if anybody could beat him in this race, fair play. But he really shouldn't be getting beaten here. This should be Gandalf's win all the way. But either way, we'll be back in a few minutes' time to kickstart this Jeddah Grand Prix. Right, and we are back, ladies and gentlemen, and we are ready to get the show up and running. So let's see how tonight will go. Fingers crossed, that'll be a clean turn one. Obviously, that's what everybody will be hoping for. Certainly, I imagine that's what Gandalf will be hoping for. Gandalf starting alongside Viking Fox at the front, two title contenders, but they need to get their way forward towards Warrener here. They do not want to let Warrener run away with this championship. And Warrener starting at the back, and by at the back I do literally mean P16 and last. That will give a big opportunity to those two drivers. Gandalf in the front, and Viking Fox starting alongside. And here we go. It's for the lights here in UFRL. This is Tier 2 at Jeddah. And it's go, go, go! Strong starts from the pair of Gandalf and Viking, and a stronger one from Viking. He goes into the lead through turn one. Viking Fox leads. Gandalf pushes down to second. Jar Jar up onto the podium for the Alpine. Warrener having a battle at the back of the field here as well. Jar Jar and Simon, Woody, you got William. Becky Gaming is ahead of Angry Badger. So Baker Gaming gaining the place here. Spills, what's happened right at the back? Is it Warrener? Warrener's involved in something. Warrener is in a bit of trouble. He's down a P16. He's got no damage, but he's 1.5 seconds off the pace. So all of a sudden he's got work to do. Here Spills going for the move round the outside on ARC Mickey. Side by side on the soft compound tyre. Speaking of tyre, we'll get that one for you. But there you go for Spills. He may just be about to gain a place on the inside of ARC Mickey. It's tight racing through the apex, and it is Spills who has just about got the place. An advantage to him. He is up the order. He really wanted that one, no doubt about it. And Spills flying by as we head all the way beyond the hairpin and into the final sector. But in the lead of the race here, Viking Fox leads, but Gandalf wants to take the lead back off him. He's going to go round the outside. He may go for a little bit of a switchback. He is going for the switchback as Simon goes in for the move on Jar Jar. Simon moves up the order. Jar Jar being trying to defend. There are yellow flags for ARC Mickey for the Red Bull team. Gandalf goes quickest on lap. He is leading because he takes over from Viking Fox. So it's Gandalf, Viking, Simon, Woody, who is just ahead of Jar Jar Bing. Jar Jar trying to battle here with the Haas, unable to do so. And it's Woody up in the top 5. And you've got Woody Fernandez from Bakey Gaming, who's hanging on to the DRS. Angry Badger battling with Spills. Oh, it's side by side. The two Ferraris! The two Ferraris come together here at Jeddah. Unbelievable. The TP with Spills. And I've got to say, Ferrari, what have they just done? Angry Badger and Spills have just come together here at Jeddah. Incredible. Spills, ironically enough, gives him the place back. Maybe that's what Badger wished he had done in the first place, in terms of going for the move down the inside into turn 4, which you don't do. You don't do that. You don't go for the move into turn 4, not on your own teammate as well. That's wild. That's absolutely wild. Let's go up the field, though, back up towards Gandalf and Viking. Gandalf is not pulling away here in this race, despite taking pole by almost 8/10 of a second. As our further down the field, Batman's taken Epic Frenchy. That's to rise up into P11. They are still going side by side, in fact. We will have a look further back if there's nothing doing here. But we want to keep going and looking towards these drivers. There's a bit of contact between Woody into Simon. Only minor. ARC Mickey ahead of Epic Frenchy into P13. Warrener, meanwhile, is up into P12. We will just drop back after this one. But Viking Fox is going to go side by side into turn 1 with Gandalf. And he's got the move done down the inside. Gandalf has to lift off. And this could give Simon a chance on the outside. Is he going to have a look? He does not go for the move. So Simon just staying in P3. Woody also feinting an overtake on the inside, but you're never really going to go down there unless you're a Ferrari. Jar Jar Bingham, it's William, then it's Bakey Gaming in that top 7. That top 7 group all together here in a DRS trade. And you got Team Turner all on his own, but doing well, having started at the rear. He's up into the top 8. Melon P9, Batman 10th. Then you got Doug just behind. Warrener is still in that pack near the back of the field in P12, Warrener. He is not rising up the field as easily as he would have liked to. He's got Doug and I Am Batman and Melon just ahead of him. So he'll be hoping to continue his progress, but his progress has been a bit of a struggle up to now. And if he can get one position here on Doug, it would rise him up into P11, which will be on the fringes of that top 10. But whether or not Woviner can do it, well, we'll see on this lap. He's definitely looking like he wants to be a bit punchy here with the Mercedes. And Woviner just settling currently to be in that P12. We will just move up the order for now. Having a look here towards Gandalf, back ahead of Viking Fox. This is where Simon wants to get involved, and he certainly does. And also, what's the Alpine done? That's Jar Jar Bing. He thinks it's Canada again. It's not Canada again, it's Jeddah. He's gone down the inside on Woody and trying to go down the inside on Simon as well. That was absolutely wild. He's done it again. He's done it again. Oh my gosh. He's now pushed Simon off, and Simon's got a penalty. That can be easily appealed. That's a straight up 3-second penalty as well. It's not a multiple. So that 3 seconds can be appealed, and it would be successfully removed by Simon. So if you're the TP of Kicksauber, make sure you let Simon know that he should be appealing that time penalty, because he can get that removed, because it is a straight up 3 seconds. Jar Jar Bings may not be approved, because that's a 3-second straight up corner cutting, and he's now letting some cars through actually. Not sure how many he let. I think he was letting 3 through. Okay, so he's down to P6 now. But yeah, Jar Jar Bing with a couple of pretty crazy moves down the inside, I've got to say. Maybe just trying to get himself back into racing. Woviner, meanwhile, he's got up to P9 in a Williams, and he's over a second ahead of Mellon now, so he's finally got out of that DRS group. Doug is also battling with Epic Frenchy for P12 and P13. Just keeping an eye on this one though. Woody on the rear of Simon. Simon may have just lost DRS, has he? It looks like he has done. And he's out of battery. This should give Woody a very easy move. Gandalf was pulled a second on Viking, and here comes Woody on the inside of Simon. He's got the place done, has he? Yes, he has. He's fully ahead. And Woody now up onto the podium, but he needs to close in on this top 2. But here will go Simon again. He does have DRS, but he's well out of battery, and this gives Willy Fernandez a chance on the outside of Simon. They will go side by side through turns 1 and into 2. And has William got the pace? A little bit of contact between the pairing, but I think Simon may just have the place, or does he? Yes, he does. Oh, so Jar Jar goes very close, and there's a bit of a corner cut there from Simon as well. Simon, William and Jar Jar Bing going incredibly closely here, following through into the S's. So it's for 4th, 5th and 6th. Woviner 3 seconds back from team turn, and that's for 8th and 9th. Still a lot of work for Woviner to do to progress even further in this race, having started in P16. We'll just keep up with this at the moment. Viking Fox, meanwhile, is back within a second of Gandalf. Woody is 1.2 seconds away. So Woody trying to get back in DRS of his teammate. Viking trying to get and make sure he's in DRS of Gandalf as well. So it's going to be crucial for their race that they can deliver that. So we have a little look towards Fernandez in the top 5 now, having made that overtake on Jar Jar Bing. Can he get a move done here on Simon as well? There are sort of gaps opening up at the front for Gandalf, for Viking, Woody as well. So all the drivers will be trying to get back in DRS range as well. The top 2 are together. Gandalf has about 9/10 on Viking. He seems to have greater straight line speed, as Doug has continuing his battle with Batman in P13 and P14. But nothing doing on this occasion for Simon or William. I think Simon just looks like he is struggling in terms of the battery, as Doug goes for an early undercut here. In terms of the tyre situation, well, him and Spills went for a soft. Badger for the only one to go for hard. Everybody else in that top 13 opting for the medium compound of tyre. So Doug opting to go for the hards now. So that will get him to the 1 stop to the end of the Grand Prix. A very early undercut as Team Turner receives a 3-second time penalty. Well, Becky Gaming as well, he has moved out of that DRS range of that top 6. So he is almost 3 seconds adrift of it now, having lost that DRS. Gandalf has certainly picked up the pace. 1.6 seconds he has now on Woody. I say picked up the pace, or it may very well have been an error. The penalty count there, 3 seconds for all the drivers. But yeah, let's keep watch of this one. And can Woody get the pace on his teammate? I think at this stage, Viking Fox may just be saying, I'm happy to work with you. And indeed, it looks like they are. So Woody takes over from Viking Fox now. And Woody up into P2, Viking Fox in P3. Maybe did he just think, you know what, it might just be the day where Gandalf is just that little bit too quick for us. As our Woody does give some DRS, and Viking Fox will go straight back through. Now the question will be, of course, can they work together here at the Haas? That's what they have to do. If they want to try and catch up to Gandalf, they need to use that DRS and really close in. You've got Simon, you've got William, and you've got Jar Jar Binks still in there as well in that top 6. He's done well, Jar Jar Binks. Obviously, he's made a couple of rash moves, but he has done well to be sticking up there in that top 6. So fair play on that one. William as well. William has delivered a strong drive here for the Mercedes on those mediums as well. So yeah, they're all doing well to stick up in that top 6, but they're just not quite as quick as Gandalf here this evening. And Gandalf does seem to have some strong race pace. His qualifying pace, don't get me wrong, was better than what his race pace has been. Epic Frenchie receiving a 3-second time penalty now as well. So 4 drivers with a penalty, although you would expect for Simons to be removed. What's that? Baker Gaming's in trouble. Baker Gaming is in serious trouble. He's in serious trouble. He's not even moving. He is ghosted. He can't move, you know. It's a virtual safety car, though. To be fair, I don't blame him for staying still. Obviously, he didn't want to get in driver's ways, though. So fair enough on that. It is a virtual safety car, though. He's lost his entire wing. Oh, it's a full course. It's a late call, but it is a full course safety car. Bakey Gaming has lost his wing, and that means drivers will now be heading into the pits. And Woody opting to stay out here. Oh, I know he would have lost a lot of places, but yeah, that's a potential problem. I mean, he might try and get Viking ahead. What's this? Is Viking Fox in the pits? Yeah, he is. I knew he was in the pits. I meant, did he get out ahead of Gandalf somehow? Obviously not. Very slow stop compared. Oh, nope, never mind. So you've got Simon in there. Everybody pretty much is pitting now. Get a tyre situation on. Angry Badger actually is deciding to stay out. So you could get the field in. Gandalf and Viking Fox have a real chance now of pushing on in this race. They're on fresh hards to take them to the end. Yeah, they've got a genuine opportunity here. So you got Simon, and what I mean as well, if they can both get ahead of Woody quickly, I'm sure Woody will not fight Viking Fox. It might just be a genuine 1v1 between Gandalf and Viking for the win. Woody and Badger will be holding up other drivers behind them. Yeah, this is a chance here for those two, Gandalf and Viking Fox, to put away. Warrener coming out of the pits is in the top 10. He's P10. But he's on fresh hard now, and he is in that lead group effectively because they will all now be together. Get the telemetry up as well because we'll keep watch of the race leader, which on this occasion will be Woody. Trying to continue his form from the race win he picked up at Austria last week. Can he continue that into Jeddah? I mean, it's going to be difficult from the stage, obviously not opting to make a pit stop, and I'm sure he won't pit on this lap. If he was going to pit, he would have pit on the previous lap when the safety car came out. He's obviously not going to do that now. So we are going to get another lap under the safety car. Don't forget you've got the Ferrari of Spills right in P16. So on those medium tyres, however, which will be quicker, or certainly for a good period of this race. But then the hard tyres will come into their own eventually. So hard tyres are certainly the tyre you want to be on right now to get you to the end of this race. And they will get you to the end of this race as well. That's the good thing if you're on the hards. If you started on the mediums, well, if you started on the hards and then had to pit for mediums, then it's a very tricky challenge for those drivers. If you didn't pit, good luck to Woody and Angry Badger. Good luck. You'll need it. You really will need it, because this is not the track that you want to be staying out. No, then again, I say that. Most tracks you don't want to be on old tyres. But one like a track like this, where you can overtake, and it's also very, very high in terms of needing that grip. Yeah, you don't want to be in a situation where Woody is in and Angry Badger is in as well. Woody will try and hold up drivers to help Viking Fox. I'm sure of that. That's what I'm interested to see as well. Can Woody, maybe if Viking Fox got an advantage and was able to get Viking ahead of Gandalf, Woody, I mean, Woody get Viking ahead of Gandalf, then he could actually let Viking through and try and hold up Gandalf as much as he can. That would be interesting to watch. If he does that, fair play to Haas, but that's going to be an incredible challenge for them to deliver that sort of technical overtake. So whether or not they can do that for the Haas team, we will find out. But the safety car is in this lap. All 16 drivers are together, and we are on board directly with your race leader. So we are going to move away from the tyre situation. So if you want a final look of a tyre situation, make sure you've got it in your mind now. I'm probably going to forget about it, but Woody and Angry Badger are the two drivers on the older tyres. So we'll keep that in mind. That's a stop. So as you can see, everybody bar Woody and Badger have stopped. And let's go back to the whole picture. On board with your race leader, Woody. And now we head around the final corner at turn 27. And Woody gets to choose whenever he wants to go here. And he's going now. Woody is going early. We actually want that to be disabled. Thank you very much, game. And Woody going here early. Will Gandalf go for the overtake? Not quite. There is a big battle going on behind. Simon is trying to defend from William by having a potential... Look! Oh, what's that? That's Woody. Oh, Woody. Oh, my God. Viking! Viking is lit! Whoa! Woody has slipped, and all of a sudden, Viking Fox leads into turn 4. It's Viking from Gandalf from Woody. When we were saying Woody might Woody would help out his teammate, we didn't think it would be in that way. Viking Fox leads, Gandalf in second, Woody in P3. Then you've got Badger still fourth, but he's got Simon looking to attack him. And don't forget Badger joining Woody on being on the older compound tyre. Well, not compound, but just the older tyres in general here. So Angry Badger will be under pressure from Simon imminently here. And we'll see if Simon can get that move done. Warren still in P10, who of course is your championship leader. Compared to Viking and Gandalf, who were second and third in the championship, they are currently in the top 2 this evening. As Woody was closing in on Gandalf. If he could burn all of his battery here, and maybe try and get towards Gandalf, and then you feel like Gandalf's going to do the same thing here. Here comes Gandalf. He is doing the same. He's going to go for the overtake around the outside of Viking Fox. You don't get the feeling Viking is going to make this too easy for him. And Woody, well, Woody's certainly going to be having a look. Simon does get the move on Badger, or does he? They are going to be going alongside as we cross the line. And it looks like Simon has got the move done. But let's head back to the lead. Gandalf on the inside, Viking Fox on the outside, and it is Gandalf who is back in P1. So Gandalf from Viking Fox. Then you've got Woody in P3. Then you've got Simon with Badger in 5th. Willie Fernandez in 6th. Turner, Jar Jar, Mickey and Warner completing that top 10. Warner still looking to make some overtakes. As we obviously have kick-started a couple of laps ago from the safety car restart. There is a gap back to Doug in P12 as well. So Doug, Melon, Baker Gaming, Spills and Batman not in a particularly healthy position through P12 down to P16. A wide line there from Angry Badger. That gives William a little bit of a look. And you've also got Team Turner. Spills overtakes Baker Gaming. He has to work up into P14 now for Spills. Baker Gaming obviously having lost his wing earlier on, which did actually cause the full course safety car. Before that, the virtual safety car is a wide line there from the Aston Martin of Team Turner. Jar Jar Bing certainly having a look on him. There is a move also further ahead. Willie Fernandez on Angry Badger. They are going side by side. Who's got the DRS will be the next question. The DRS will go to the Ferrari and the Mercedes. So they both have DRS. There's yellow flags. Potentially, is it for Baker Gaming again? Oh, they almost got a 3 wide. What's that, Jar Jar Bing? Oh, Jar Jar Bing is round. That was an audacious attempt to go 3 wide. And Jar Jar Bing now down into P14, make it P15 potentially. If he's going to go into the pit, he needs to be careful. He needs to slow it down. It doesn't look like he's going to. Yeah, that's got wing damage, so he does need to be careful here, Jar Jar Bing. But he's down the order after that collision. Let's head up the field, shall we? Have a look towards Viking Fox, leading again ahead of Gandalf, then Woody, then Simon. That top 4 still together. Woody has done well so far to still be in this lead group. Then you've got Angry Badger as well. In all fairness to Badger, he's still there. Woody, is he going to have a look on the inside of Gandalf? He was having a look for a moment. Not quite going for the overtake. Jar Jar Bing, 3-second time penalty. Let's have a look down the rear. Spills down into the Batman, and they've gone into each other. They have gone into each other there. So Spills level ahead. And Jar Jar Bing also is going to have a look. Is he on the outside line without a wing? And he's actually got the move done. In all fairness to Jar Jar Bing, he has gone around the outside of Spills without his 2M plate, but he's up into P13. But that's probably not going to last too long here. We head back towards Simon. 4th place, chasing down Woody, who of course is on the older tyres, Woody. As a couple of battles, Wovner with William, and there's more yellow flags at the back of the field. Jar Jar Bing, Becky Gaming still going at it. As into the pits goes the Ferrari, that's Angry Badger. Badger is straight into the pits here. Let's head back up the order then, as Woody now receives a 3-second penalty, joining Simon and Turner. Frenchie as well on that count, as well as Jar Jar Bing. So Jar Jar Bing joining Badger in the pit as well. But yeah, for your current top... Well, how many? It goes down to William at the moment. William in P8. Epic Frenchie not far away, 1 second away in P9. In fact, he's less than a second now. So this DRS train goes all the way down to Epic Frenchie, who is down in P9, and he got a big gap, 5 seconds to Doug, who is in 10th position. Now, Becky Gaming, 3-second penalty in P12. He was doing well early doors. He did lose a DRS, and when he lost the DRS, he was losing time. And sadly for him, he ended up losing his front wing as well, which resulted in that virtual, then the full course safety car. Since then, not been the ideal race for Becky Gaming here. But his biggest concentration and focus must be on that Tier 3 Championship battle that he will continue tomorrow evening at Las Vegas. Yeah, definitely a race to look forward to that. Las Vegas for Tier 3 tomorrow. That's one that all the drivers who are Tier 3 will be looking forward to. You got Becky Gaming, you got Doug, both those title contenders with Cowley this season. So those are the 3 who will be trying to win that championship in Tier 3. But the Tier 2 Championship battle continues here with Viking Fox overtaking Gandalf into Turn 1. Those 2 trying to get as much as they can out of Wovner. As things stand though for Wovner, he would actually get P4. Although if Simon can get that 3 seconds removed, that would effectively be P5. So Wovner, if he has to know, well, if any driver has to know, you would want to finish ahead of Simon, because that likelihood is that Simon's 3-second penalty would be removed if he appeals it, because it was from the contact from Jar Jar Bing. So yeah, if he does appeal that penalty, it would effectively be taken off. So he just needs to make sure, Simon, that he does remember to appeal that penalty, especially if it is a clear impact in this race. Angry Badger overtaking Iron Batman, he's up there in P13. But they're still battling here. P14 rather, with Spills, and Spills has got to move around the outside. He's gone a bit deep. And because he's gone so deep, Batman goes back through, or does he? Still going side by side here. Spills with Batman. Dangerous territory for the Ferrari and the Red Bull. Ferrari goes wide, and he's back on, but just about avoids crashing into Batman. So Batman stays ahead of Spills, but there's a move for the lead as Gandalf takes over from Viking Fox again. As for P1, Simon, is he going to have a look at trying to get involved here for the lead of this Grand Prix? He actually decides to better off it. Team Turner is in 4th. ARC Mickey is up the order into 5th. It will be a 3-way battle as well. But ARC Mickey, then it's Wovner, who has got a move on Woody, who still needs to pit, don't forget. He may just be hoping that there will be a final safety car here. But this is not the plan that Woody needed. As he's actually gone a bit wide, that will give William the hope that he needs to get this move here on Woody. William knows he does not want to be held up too much by Woody. And can he get an overtake here as we head up and into the hairpin at turn 13? Yeah, Woody actually lets him through. Not really wanting to fight that one too much, knowing he's in a difficult situation, Woody. He's definitely hoping that there will be a safety car, a full safety car, and with some wing damage as well now, Woody. He's definitely hoping for a full course safety car in this race. So we head back up the order towards the battle for the lead. Gandalf with Viking Fox. And Simon still on that podium. Team Turner may have just lost the DRS actually. And I think he has done. He is over 1 second behind. So therefore, no DRS sadly for Team Turner. You may just be trying to get back in that DRS. Simon though trying to push on here and cause a problem for the Aston Martin. But he is applying that pressure towards Viking and Gandalf. And again, that 3-second penalty looks like it will be appealed, you imagine. I think Simon has to appeal it. I mean, there's no other way of thinking about it. He just has to. He's not going for the move, but one man going for the move is ARC Mickey on the inside of Team Turner. And he does execute the move relatively nicely. And up into the top 4 for ARC Mickey. No penalties for him as well. So a legitimate move from ARC Mickey. Now you've got Warner as well behind Team Turner. Yeah, they're all having a good race though in that top 8. I'll say top 8. I'll say top 7 now because Woody obviously, he will need to pit. Woody's got good pace though. Even on the older tyres, he has still got some good pace with damage as well. Fair play to what Woody has achieved out here this evening. It's been a tricky task for him, but he has done well. The struggle for him is obviously he still needs to pit. Angry Badger ahead of Baker Gaming. He's up into the top 12. Let's head back up the order towards Team Turner and ARC Mickey. We might just go to the race leaders, in fact. And I actually will go to the race leaders and have a little look for them as Spills left the session. He will need an invite back into the lobby. I'm sure he'll get it. Let's stick on with this battle for the time being. Viking Fox, who wants to close in on Gandalf. If he doesn't do that, well, one man who does want to is Simon behind. Simon not going for the move. Going for the overtake though. Wovaner getting a move on Team Turner. Going a little bit wider. Does not go into the wall when he has got the move on Turner. And now he wants to have a look on ARC Mickey. He's got a DRS as well. Here comes Wovaner down the inside. He wants to be in 4th. Mickey is on the outside and Wovaner's got the place. Wovaner is up into the top 4. So that safety car definitely helping him, and he's finally picking up the places now. He's into 4th, but he is 2 seconds away from the podium sitters. Woody has pitted, so Woody is in. He knows that that safety car does not seem likely, and Woody is into the pit, and he's going for a set of softs to the end of this race. Stop situation there. Everybody has made a pit stop, so we don't need to focus on that anymore. So Woody in P13, but on those soft tyres, you'd imagine he can catch up to everybody, including Doug. Doug, Men and Badger, and Baker Gaming is the drivers that you'd expect Woody to catch up to. Can he catch up to Epic Frenchie, maybe? There's a possibility in this race. But apart from Epic Frenchie, you don't think anyone is possible. As Simon has got the move on the inside of Viking, and he has done. He has pulled out the move. At what cost, though? He's still got DRS on Gandalf, but it's over a second. And you'd imagine how frustrating that must be for Viking, but he's lost the place. Simon has got back in DRS of Gandalf as well at 0.6 of a second. So he's done that move to get down the inside of Viking Fox, and now in a DRS of the Alpine for the race lead. But he almost lost the DRS there. It was close. Up the kick. Says Deck. Oh, there you go. We've got a kick Sauber driver in. Deck, make sure Simon appeals that 30-second penalty, because it is likely he probably will get it taken off. It was a straight up 3 seconds as well. So, yeah, just make sure he does do that, because otherwise he could really cost himself a strong position here this evening. I mean, he's in the fight for the win. If he ends up crossing line P1, it could be a legitimate P1 as well. So, yeah, make sure he does get an appeal in on that 3-second penalty. If he hasn't clipped it, well, he's kind of stuffed himself. Because because he should definitely be clipping it, given it was a contact from Jar Jar Bing, which effectively pushed Simon wide at turn 1. So that's why he should definitely be appealing that. The penalty, the 3 seconds, of course. But for Gandalf at the moment, it is looking good, but Simon is still in a legitimate battle to win, as is Viking Fox. And Gandalf, don't forget, almost 0.8 of a second quicker in qualifying, not quite achieving the same heights in the race. But he's still up there looking to secure a victory here at Jeddah. And then you've got the battle behind them with ARC Mickey, with Warner, with Team Turner. And can Turner get 3 seconds on Willie Fernandez, given that William is now almost 2 seconds away? He is 2 seconds away. Team Turner there just feinting a move on the inside of Warner. He's now having a little look on the inside of Warner. This may be an opportunity here for Team Turner to attack Warner, but Warner's going to attack ARC Mickey round the outside. Is Turner going to try and follow through? They will go side by side here, Team Turner with Mickey. And has he got the place on the outside? Mickey's still there, trying to get my words out. ARC Mickey alongside Team Turner. Will they go into turn 4 together? They won't, as Team Turner backs off the overtake. And ARC Mickey just hold on as Team Turner right over the curb. But ARC Mickey is still in that top 5 behind Warner. I think Warner would have hoped that they would have gone side by side, because if they had done, then you can guarantee Mickey and Turner are not going to catch up to Warner. For the race lead now, Gandalf has pulled a 1.1 second gap over Simon. So the race win is being closed in here by the Alpine. He has got the time he needs on Simon. Simon with a legitimate 3 second penalty. That one, there can be no real arguments for, surely. That one is legitimate. That 3 second penalty, that takes him to 6. Again, you do imagine it's only going to be 3 seconds now. But that could still cost him a podium if he does not appeal that penalty. So it kicks Albany to make sure he does appeal the 3 seconds, the first 3 seconds, of course. That 3 seconds looks like it's legitimate. Therefore, 6 seconds in total. Obviously, he won't be getting a podium with 6 seconds. But if he only has 3 seconds as legitimate penalties, he might just secure a podium here. As our Viking Fox does get a move on him, Simon is now just behind him. I do wonder if Simon may just say, you know what, I might just stick in your slipstream and not really battle you too much. That would be the smart play. To try and gain as much time on the cars behind as possible. Speaking of the cars behind, Warner, Mickey and Team Turner are still in there. Woody 31.673 fast up. He has been getting overtakes done. Speaking of overtakes, Doug round the outside on Angry Badger up into P9. And you got Woody and P11 from Melon from Bakey Gaming. So Woody has, of course, been making a couple of overtakes. Next job will be Doug and Badger, and then he'll try and catch up to Epic Frenchie. That is a tough arse, though, for Woody, who has showed some promising pace here this evening, it's fair to say. And as you can see from a direct on board, Angry Badger making a move round the outside on Doug. He's gone up to P9. Badger on fresher tyres, as is Woody. Tricky situation here for Douglas. Still in the top 10. No time penalties as well. Woody does have a penalty. So the situation is very clear. Even if Woody overtakes Doug, Doug could still finish ahead with the time penalty that Woody has. We are going to move up the order just for now. Have a look towards Simon on the rear of Viking Fox. Warner is almost 1 second behind. Woody does get a move on Doug. He is now up into the top 10. And here comes Simon on the inside of Viking. They are going to go side by side. It is Simon now who is up into P2. Then it's Viking. Then it's Warner. Warner for 3 seconds. Your championship leader, Warner, has a 3 second penalty. That could be massive. That could be absolutely massive in this championship battle. Gandalf and Viking Fox will be looking at that and thinking, this is my lucky day. This is perfect for them. This is not ideal for Warner. That 3 second penalty looks like it may just cost him a chance at a podium. And it will. ARC Mickey is now the one who is going to take home a podium. A surefire podium here for Mickey, unless he makes a mistake. But they've all caught up to Simon and Viking now. So it is a 5-way squabble 4 places on the podium. Gandalf will win this as Viking Fox goes round the outside on Simon and back up into second. Simon will get 3 seconds removed, you'd imagine. But right now, he will not be on the podium. Neither will Warner. Incredible. And I've got to say, somebody like a Team Turner may hope that they're not going to battle too much, simply because he will want to get 6th place ahead of William, but William can still get that. But here we go, Viking on the inside, Warner trying to charge around the outside. This is going to make life uncomfortable here, Simon. And there you go, Warner is ahead of Viking Fox. But here comes Viking again. He's not letting that one up too easily. You've got Mickey, ARC Mickey storming through on the inside of Warner. He's trying again. He's got the outside line this time. Make it the inside, but it is ahead of Viking. ARC Mickey takes Viking. And as things stand, Mickey will take home 2nd position. Incredible from the Red Bull. What a move it was on Viking Fox. Couldn't quite put it out on Warner. But right now, Mickey will take home P2. Viking with a penalty. Viking Fox with 3 seconds, and that has blown this battle wide open for the final spot on the podium. It can go to anybody. Gandalf will take the victory. There is surely no doubting that now, as the safety car chances are near minimal. But Simon, Warren and Mickey, Viking and Turner, absolutely incredible battling still. And it's a 5-way battle for 2nd place. Still pretty low on the penalty count, but obviously here at Jeddah, very easy to get a 30-second penalty if you go off track just slightly. On 3 occasions, that's it. You're going to get the corner cutting penalty. But the kick elbow and the Red Bull all trying to squeeze through on Warner. And Batman taking the penalty. But there you go. Simon on the inside with Mickey round the outside into turn 27. Mickey is ahead. But at what cost can this deliver? For Simon, for Warner. But Warner's not got the battery. Does that open a door for Viking? It opens a door for Simon, alright? He's up at a 2nd out of Mickey. And now Viking down the inside. He's made contact. He's made contact. Viking Fox into ARC Mickey. It was a day late and $1 short. And Viking Fox falls to 6th now. Team Turner is into the top 5. A splendid drive by him. Incredible still. Woody ahead of Angry Badger now as those two are battling each other. And actually Woody losing out. He's into the wall. Woody is into the wall. I do wonder, was there any contact between himself and Angry Badger? But we're going to go back to the leaders. Or should I say, a battle for 2nd. ARC Mickey with Simon. Don't forget Simon is likely to get 3 seconds removed, which would mean it's a straight fight for the final spot on the podium between Simon, Warner, Turner and Viking Fox here. Those are the 4 drivers in that battle. But yeah, we're just going to keep an eye on this. Gandalf's going to get that victory. There's no doubting that. Can only say he's go on Mickey. He's in a great position here for that 2nd spot. And he's had a fantastic sort of comeback drive, I would argue it as. But he has done well here this evening. Simon on the outside now, and here comes Warner. Ooh, Simon just going across a little bit too much there on Warner. Warner on the inside, Simon on the outside, and this should be Warner's move. But who does Mickey defend against? He's defending from the Williams, which could open up the window potentially for Simon. But they're all going to go for the overtake here on Mickey. Certainly Warner will. And also the Kicksabber wants to follow in, but Mickey holds it on the outside. He has taken it. Warner in at 3rd and Simon in 4th. Nothing doing for Simon on that lap. We're on the penultimate lap of this race. And it's still Gandalf leading from Warner, Simon, Turner and Viking. It will be the top 2 is done for Gandalf and ARC Mickey, but that final spot on the podium is getting even more tasty as the laps go on here. Team Turner has brought himself into a promising position. Viking Fox still in behind them, but a situation becoming very, very challenging for Viking. When he thought he was going to get a podium, then he got a 3 seconds, then he dropped in behind to 6th place. This race has unravelled here for Viking Fox, and this could be the championship done for Viking. He may just lose that out, as Gandalf may be the one trying to fight with Warren. I'll say that. Viking Fox is not going to be too far behind. Yes, Mickey, let's go. Well, he's in 2nd again. He is going to take that P2. Brilliant racing. Yeah, it is. They're all going at it here, but who's going to secure that final spot on the podium? Jar Jar Bing with a 3-second time penalty in P14. 9 seconds in total, the highest of any driver this evening. But this final battle, Team Turner has a look on the inside of Simon. Does not quite get the move. And Team Turner is legitimately fighting for this position as well. He is trying to pull alongside who has got the greater straight line speed. Team Turner on the inside with Simon on the outside. Warner takes Mickey for second, but they are side by side there and still going at it here between the two. Kicks Albert, the Aston Martin. Simon on the outside with the Aston on the inside. Who is going to back out? And it is going to be Team Turner with the place. Turner up into fourth. Master stroke from him. Oh, Warner! Warner's had a problem. He ghosted for a moment. Was he trying to make an overtake on Mickey, or did he just try and hit the wall? Not, he didn't try, by the way. He probably just hit the wall, but he's in third. He's just in DRS of Mickey. It's the final lap of the race. Gandalf will win. Mickey will take home second. But who will get the final place on the podium? Team Turner is closing in on Warner for the final spot on the podium. It's incredible. Who's going to get it? There's no doubt about the victory. There's no doubt about second. But the chances for that final place on the podium, it's odds on for Warner right now, is it? But he won't have DRS. He's out of the 1 second window, is he? Oh, it's very close at the line. He may have just got it. He may have stuck in a bit of an error there from Team Turner. Simon will have a chance, but who will get the win? It will be Gandalf. We will go toward him in just a moment, see if anything happens in this battle behind. Yellow flags further back for an Alpine, but nothing doing. So you head out the final corner, but Gandalf will take victory at Saudi Arabia. And ARC Mickey with a beautiful drive for P2. Warner to hold on to a place on the podium from Team Turner. And you got William Viking Simon, but again, if Simon gets that 3 seconds removed, he will beat Viking Fox. So that's the situation. He needs to try and do that, and he might even beat William. It's going to be close. Epic Frenchie will take home a 10th place finish. He falls behind Badger and also Doug up there in 9th. Look at the gap between Doug and Frenchie in the end. Becky Gaming crosses in P11 and Melon in P12. Woody, well, sadly for him, he did have to repair that wing, so it will be a P13 for Woody here this evening. And we'll just keep watch of Woody as he crosses the line. P13 for the Haas. And you've got Batman here battling away with Jar Jar Bing. And Jar Jar Bing gets ahead. Oh, as Jar Jar Bing actually goes wide. And Batman is just ahead of him. So those two just going to cross the line in P14 and P15 for Batman and for Jar Jar Bing. Then he got Spears, the final driver, who showed up as DNF. Spill showed up as DNF, but I don't know if he crossed the line. That's an interesting one. Either way, Warner comes up as a driver of the day. I mean, the driver of the day one's going to be an interesting one, but fair play. Warner obviously came back very strongly in that race on P16. And luckily, we are getting the podium celebrations also. That means we will probably be getting the race results as well. We'll let you see the podium celebrations. And your full classification, and Gandalf does come home with the victory of the pole position. A very dominant drive in qualifying and a strong drive in the race to boot, and that will boost his championship hopes. ARC Mickey second and Warner in third holds on to the championship lead. Team Turner fourth, great result for the Aston with William in the top 5 of Mercedes. And you've got Viking, Simon, Badger, Doug and Frenchie in the top 10. Baker Gaming, Melon, Woody, Batman, Jar Jar Bing and Spills. But the question is, did Spills finish? We will have to find that one out. No worries, Jar Jar. You might be a little bit rusty. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, obviously, you've got to get back into racing. Next game, I think will be the best chance for you. Obviously, it will be a fresh F1 25, so that's probably going to be your best bet, really, to get back into racing. But yeah, for this evening, though, congratulations, obviously, to Gandalf on what was a very dominant weekend, or race weekend, technically, for him. P1 in quali, P1 in the race. Never looked back, did he really? So yeah, he'll be happy with that, and obviously again it will give him a chance at being in a position to compete for that championship. But Wotherner will hold on to the lead. Viking Fox will still be in the championship fight, as will Gandalf, and we will now have 2 rounds of racing remaining here in Tier 2. For tomorrow night, it will be Tier 3, and that will be live from Las Vegas, 8 o'clock p.m. So we'll look forward to that one for the Tier 3 drivers. Again, that's a championship battle going on for that one. Cowley, you've got Doug, you've got Bakey Gaming, who is a new championship leader. So yeah, those 3 drivers are the ones fighting for the Tier 3 championship. And then obviously we got the 100% tier, and that'll be happening on Friday night, 8 o'clock p.m. for that one. And that one will be heading to Australia. So a nice little race there at Melbourne for the 100% tier. And then back to Monday next week. Let's have a little look. Where do we head to for Monday next week? I'll be heading to Mexico for the penultimate round of the season. And then for Tier 2 next week, it will be a mystery circuit for the Tier 2 drivers. So that could be a pick of pretty much, well, what? A pick of about 11 or so tracks. Yeah, plenty for the Tier 2 drivers to try and think about practicing on, making sure they've got a setup as well for the Tier 2 drivers, and mystery circuit for those drivers. So we'll see how it goes for them. That's what they'll have to look forward to for next week. And then the finale for Tier 2 will be held at Interlagos for the Brazilian Grand Prix. That will be a double points finale as well. So plenty for the drivers to look forward to here across all tiers. Let's have a look, see if anybody is in the interview room at all. People tend to drop in there. Well, we know the race winner's in there, so there's that. We'll all head in there in just a moment. But yes, for now, I'm just going to get a quick drink, and then we'll be up for heading into the interview room and speak with our race winner. So we'll be back in just a second. Right then, and that is that done. So let's head into the interview room and speak to the race winner. We've also got another driver in there as well. Oh, okay, interesting. So we've got him in there. I want to just double check what position he actually finished in before I speak to him, because he did, obviously he was up there in the race for a lot of it. You'll know who I'm talking about in just a second. Okay, let's see where he finished. Right. So we will head into the interview room now, and we will speak to our, well, race winner and also another driver from this evening. Right, so we are now in the interview room. First of all, we'll speak to a driver who was battling for the podium through large parts of that race. So good evening to the Kick Sauber of Simon.
Hello.
Hello, how are you, mate?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. Obviously for you got 7th in the end. Although I get the impression that are you going to appeal that 3 seconds, may I ask? The first one you got.
Yeah, I got a
Yeah,
clip of it, so I'm
cool,
gonna
cool.
appeal it tonight, and
Yeah.
yeah, hopefully get P5.
Yeah, cool. So it would have been P5 that you would have got. So yeah, I mean a strong race, but obviously you had plenty of battles in that one.
Yeah, it was a really tough race. Feel like I could have got the podium, but I think that move on Viking Fox, and then my poor battery management cost me the race. I think 'cause I lost the RS to Gandalf, and
Mm.
yeah, just poor battery management.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, I was seeing on the straights a few times that you were completely out of battery, and I was like, oh, how was he still up there fighting when he's not got anything left? Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, no, I mean the fact that you actually still were able to fight like in a great position and not have the battery to do so, to be fair, fair play on that. But yeah, obviously starting in the race, and then we got the full course safety car. So what were you sort of thinking under that? Obviously, you did pit for the fresh hards.
I was hoping it never came out because I think the mediums were quite good for me. They were like I was getting some good laps in,
Hmm.
but towards the end, I also got damage, front wing damage towards the end. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was chaotic race
Mm.
from me.
Yeah, it is tricky anyway in general. Obviously, Jeddah, 27 corners in total. You're always bound to make a mistake at some point in that race. So yeah, but then the fact that you said you had wing damage, and obviously we saw it on the stream as well, you had the end plate damage. I think it was the left side. You were still able to have strong pace in that race, though, despite the damage.
Yeah,
So yeah, you done well with that. And then obviously fighting for that podium. You were saying it was related to the battery management. In terms of trying to pick up for the next race, it will be the mystery track for round 11. Are you looking forward to that at all?
yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully, it's a good track
I
that
was
I'm
gonna
good at,
say, yeah.
strong.
Any particular tracks that you want it to be? Obviously it's going to be a track that's not on the calendar at the moment.
Um, not sure. I would like. I wouldn't mind a Miami. I'm pretty good at it.
Oh,
Um,
that's a rogue choice. Not many would say Miami.
I don't know what else. What other tracks? Maybe Imola. I'm quite strong there.
Mm, wow, two tracks that I
So
wasn't expecting to hear. Miami and Imola. Especially in Miami, not many people would naturally go, "Oh, I want to race at Miami." Like that's
yeah, it's one
yeah.
of my stronger tracks. So
Oh wow. But there you go. If we head to Miami, ladies and gentlemen, Simon's going to be in fine form, you'd imagine.
yeah,
But yeah, good stuff for tonight. Obviously, P7 with the 3 seconds that I think will be, I imagine will be removed. Obviously, it's not set in stone, but I think it will. It would be a P5, so strong stuff, and we'll see what you could do next week.
okay, thank you.
No, you're welcome. So that was Simon then. Good drive for the kick Sauber this evening, so fair play to him on that. Now let's go though to tonight's race winner for the Alpine. Good evening to Gandalf.
Hello, hello. Oh,
Hello. How are you, mate?
bit out of breath. It was a tough one, but it was a
Hmm.
good result.
Yeah. Well, I think the first place that I have to go to has to be qualifying. You
Yeah.
were almost 8 tenths of a second quicker. What I was actually interested in, you decided to use all three sets of tires.
No, on my last lap, I just stuck the
Or was it
one
an
of the
old
old
set?
ones on.
Ah, okay, because it came up
Yeah.
on the race director like you had used all three sets. Ah, okay, that makes sense then. Thank God you
It
did
was just
that.
in case of a life safety car, really.
Yeah.
Just in case, because I did try them like at the start. I tried them for I tried a race stint with softs and mediums, but they just died
Mm,
so quick at the start. So I just
mm,
kept I just kept it.
yeah.
Just a spare set. I was tempted to go out again, but because I wanted to get in 27s, but I was pleased with the qualifying. To be fair,
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame you. When you're that much quicker than everybody else in qualifying, you might as well just save the tyres. I was almost surprised you went out a second time, I can't lie. I was there like, you're so far clear, you might as well just stay in the pits and just save your tyres for the race. But
I mean,
yeah,
yeah. I mean, looking at it now, I could have done, but I wasn't sure. I didn't know if everyone was just like sandbagging for the first lap, like bank a lap.
yeah,
I know how quick some guys can be, so I just wasn't sure, and I knew I could go a lot quicker.
mm,
So I just risked it. I'm not going to need two softs really, I don't think, but um, yeah, I just thought
mm,
why not?
yeah, fair enough. Obviously, yeah, you got that pole position, but then early doors in the race, it wasn't as easy. I think Viking Fox was obviously battling with you quite a lot and was actually managing to overtake you, but managing to re-overtake him as well. So you two were sort
Yeah.
of going at it for first and second quite frequently early in that race.
Yeah, that was fun. I mean, I knew I'd have a bad start. I always do. So I sort of just let him go for a little bit after turn one. I didn't want to like cause any damage on the first lap, so I just sat him behind for a little bit, sit in DRS, and then I think I saw him have a little spin on the S's on sector one, a little slide, and I just saw the time go up to like 9/10, so I just like burnt on the battery just to get out that DRS. And then after that, he started battling with the others then. Um, but we were working together quite well for the first bit, the first stint, and then obviously safety car.
Yeah.
Yeah, safety car came
So
out.
obviously the safety car, you went for the hards.
Yeah.
What were you sort of thinking? Because Woody stayed out on the mediums. Were you thinking anything about that at that time?
I knew he'd do the opposite to Viking.
Mm,
Obviously Viking is the one who's got lots to lose really. He's in the championship battle.
yeah.
So I had a feel I knew he'd come for odds. And obviously Woody just do the opposite. And then yeah, they worked together quite well for the first couple of laps. I think they were working together to hold me up and stuff, but
Mm.
that was quite fun.
Well, it's funny you say that because I remember on the safety car restart, Woody had a slip, so you got sort of held behind, and then all of a sudden Viking went past both of you.
Oh yeah, I remember that actually. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I actually just like I was actually either going to Woody or into the wall, so I just had to just brake completely, like
Mm.
yeah, and then I just saw Viking fly past. I was just thinking, was that intentional? But I imagine not. But yeah,
Mm.
it's funny at the time. I was like, you cheeky
Yeah,
bugger.
I couldn't believe it. Like you probably wanted Viking to get ahead, but you never thought it would happen in
Yeah,
that way.
just
Wow.
probably on Discord with him saying, I'm gonna have a spin, and then yeah,
Crikey.
good
But yeah,
teamwork if anything.
obviously, I don't think he was expecting to ever hold you
No,
up
no.
anyway. So yeah, it was always going to be between you two. But then Woody was still in that front group for large parts until he had to pit, and he had wing damage as well. So he done very well to be in that.
Yeah, he did quite well on the mediums. I mean,
Mm,
they did feel really good when I was on them, so I was a bit good to have them to pit so early. But I just couldn't risk staying out really. But yeah, Woody was up there considering he said he hated Jeddah. So, um, I don't know what happened to him in the end, but I'll have to watch that back. But yeah, he was doing well for the most part of the race.
yeah. Well, I don't know. He either had some contact or he spun on the exit of turn two on like the pit exit area, just on around
Oh
there.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So
it's
he was
quite
into the
slick there,
wall.
isn't it?
Yeah. So I don't know
Yeah.
if he had contact or if he just spun, but yeah, he had a
Oh,
bit of an
okay.
issue there.
We'll
Um,
find out.
well, you won't find out on the stream, but I'm sure you can find out from him.
Well, yeah, yeah.
Me too. I'm in the same predicament, but
Yeah.
yes. But yeah, obviously the safety car came out, you went for the hards, and then it was you with Viking, Simon was up there as well, and a few other drivers for a lot of that race, it's fair to say. So what were you sort of
Yeah,
thinking in
yeah.
that?
Well, I think I knew Simon had the 3 second, and
Mm,
I was doing quite well managing my battery, which is quite rare actually. I normally just completely ruin it. But I was doing quite well today. Imagine just even though they had the RS, I was still staying ahead. I think it was hovering around the 7/10 mark for quite a while, and then I think obviously they just started battling a bit more, and then that just pushed them out of the DRS. Um, and then after that, obviously, once you lose DRS at Jerry, you just start pulling away a bit more then. Obviously, they started battling and bringing more people into it and then battling more, really. So that works out quite well for me. So if I could start just pull away that gradually then.
mm.
Um,
Yeah, getting that
yeah.
out of DRS of the likes of Viking and Simon was crucial because those two were sort of having that battle, which obviously didn't really work for them in the end. So yeah, you got out of DRS and then
Yeah.
after that you were just gone. To them, you were like a
Yeah, I mean,
ghost after that.
well, I don't know about that, but yeah. But yeah.
Mm. But yeah, you done very well in that sort of period of the race. You done the same sort of in the first stint where you did pull out that gap eventually on them. So yeah, honestly,
Yeah,
tonight
yeah.
without dominant driving, qualifying, and then pretty much dominated the race. I mean, you did have your battles, obviously. particularly with Viking. But you were
Yeah.
dominant, let's be honest, and you definitely deserved the victory. And on you go to round 11, having picked up that win, and you're back in that championship battle now, it's fair to say.
Yeah, I mean, I did see Warrior sneak up there on my screen, so I don't know where he came. I don't know where he came from. So obviously he's pulling away. Yeah, it was good points. Obviously 2 tracks, so anything can happen now. Just doing what I can now, really.
Yeah, you've done really well. So yeah, again, very well played on the win. And obviously, round 11 for the mystery track next week. Any tracks you're looking forward to? I'm hoping it's going to be one.
Qatar, because I practiced it yesterday.
Fair enough.
And I know Woody's going to be looking forward to that if it is, because I know he likes that. I do like Singapore.
Okay.
I imagine that's on there, 'cause I know.
Yeah.
I don't know if Monaco
So
is or not.
no, so Monaco and Spain are the two that won't be on there, and China as
Okay,
well, because
yeah,
we've had China twice on mysteries this season, so that won't be on there.
yeah, that was our no hards race as well first.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that won't be
Um,
on there anyway.
but yeah,
But
so I think Qatar and Singapore are probably my top 2 choices.
wow.
Yeah, anything
Try.
else other than
It's
any other than
crazy.
that, then it's not going to go well.
You know what's crazy is because Simon was saying Miami was his first choice. And now you've said like Qatar
Yeah,
and Singapore. It's fairly rogue choices from you both. I'll
um,
say.
I don't know. I don't know why, because obviously Qatar and Singapore are completely different tracks.
Yeah, they are.
um, so,
Qatar, the walls are miles away. Singapore, the walls are close here.
yeah, I don't know what it is, but yeah, because we had Silverstone and Jeddah, which are my favourite 2 that we've had. They're like my top 4, and then so we'll see. Fingers crossed for next week. Get a good track.
Yeah,
Um,
certainly. I
we'll
look
see.
forward to doing that wheel. But yeah, good luck obviously for next week. And again, congratulations for your victory tonight.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah,
Cheers.
you're welcome. There you go. So that was your race winner this evening, Gandalf. A super performance, qualified on pole and held on for the win. 35 points going to his name, and obviously he'll take that going into round 11. But we do have our final interviewee this evening, and tonight that will go to the Aston Martin. Good evening, Team Turner.
Good evening. Good evening.
Hello, how are you, mate?
Good. What about you?
Yeah, good, thank you. No, it's funny because obviously I'm a team principal, and it's the
Yeah.
first time we're able to speak to each other voice to voice. Um, but okay, let's go back to obviously the qualifying. You had your engine penalty serve, which well done for
Yeah.
serving that, by the way. It's good stuff from my driver. Well played. But yeah, obviously serving the engine penalty. What were you thinking going into the race, having served the engine penalty, starting at P14, I think it was?
Um, Going into the race, I was hoping to make up good positions on at the start of the race. Hoping to maybe get into the top 10 after a few laps and save tyres and go on from there.
Mm. Well, you did that because you worked your way up to, I know it was definitely well into the top 10. So yeah,
Yeah,
you've
I
done
think
really well.
after lap 1, I was P11, I think.
Mm.
I can't remember. It was either P12 or P11, so I made up a few good positions at the start, yeah.
Yeah, and then obviously as that first stint went on, you did you get to like P7 or P8 somewhere around that area? I
I think
think.
I think before the safety car I was P8, I think. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I was P8 before the safety car.
Because you had a gap on the cars behind, but then you also had a gap to the cars ahead, so it was always going to
Yeah,
be
I
tricky
was
to catch
stuck
them.
behind I think I was stuck behind Bakey Gaming until he had his moment and then the safety car came out.
Ah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously the safety car came out. You done the medium to hard strategy and went for the
Yeah.
fresh hards to the end. So
Yeah.
that was obviously going to be a pretty easy strategy call, I imagine. But what were you thinking at that point?
Without doubt.
What were you thinking at that
At that
stage?
point, well, if I'm honest, I know other people said the mediums were good, but I didn't like the mediums. I was
Mm,
actually sliding quite a bit on the mediums, so I was actually looking forward to getting on the hards. And to be fair,
mm.
being on the hards, I liked it. It was just working really well with me, and managed to keep good pace and get up there.
You did, to be fair, you very much did, because obviously on the restart and everything, you were gaining some places, and then you got into that battle for the podium all of a sudden, and it looked like
Yeah,
you were just on the rear behind them, you were just sitting behind them watching what they were doing, and all of a sudden you were just starting to pick off one driver, and then you would pick off the next driver.
yeah. Obviously he's trying to fight for P3. Saw Mickey didn't have a penalty, so that was just my aim. I think yeah, just letting them fight out in front. I was kind of sat back a bit, saving my battery to give it a charge. I think come to the final lap, I think I was like 3-4 tenths behind Warrener, who was out of DRS with Mickey. I think I can't remember, and then.
Mm.
I was hoping to get him on the final straight, but on the quick left-hander, I almost lost the car and then I dropped back a bit, so I didn't have a chance to get on the podium. But I tried my best. I pushed as hard as I could, and I'll take a P4.
Yeah, no, you done very well to do that. Yeah, I did see on the last lap you just made that slip. Was it? I think it was turn 22, the one just before the
I
next
think so.
DRS
Yeah,
zone.
the quick
Yeah.
left-hander.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so obviously after that, I thought to myself, oh no, you might lose this place in the car behind. Obviously you didn't,
Yeah,
you
no,
held
I
out.
was just draining my battery and hoping that didn't happen. But yeah, luckily it didn't.
No, you did really well though, honestly, to come back from P14 to take a P4. It's your first top four finish of the season, so we'll definitely take that.
Yeah, I'll take that.
And what are you sort of thinking for the mystery track then next week? Because obviously there'll be
Ooh,
about 10 tracks or so that
well,
we can have.
I don't know what most of the tracks are. I don't
Um,
know what any of them
oh
are.
yes, that will
Yeah.
be announced in due course. So if you look on the
Oh,
race calendar. It's
yeah.
any race that's not on there except for Spain and Monaco. They're the only two that we won't have.
Ooh, let me have a
Oh,
look.
yeah, it is.
Race calendar. I did see Gandalf talking about Qatar. I do like
Yeah,
Qatar.
mm,
I wouldn't mind racing there.
yeah.
Um,
I think he said Singapore. We've
Singapore
had.
I like, but yeah, I haven't got set up for most of them, so
Oh,
you
okay.
might have to
I see.
you
I
might
see
have
what
to
you're
hook me
saying.
up with
All right.
some. Yep.
All good. All good. Yeah, that's okay. All good on that.
Yeah, well, I think maybe Qatar. I do like Qatar. I've raced there a lot.
Mm.
Yeah, I love Qatar.
Okay. So you're hoping for Qatar, a bit like Gandalf, really. Oh, that's
Yeah,
interesting. Yeah, again, no, mate. Good stuff. Fourth place. Take that forward to next week, and we'll see what you can do. But congratulations, great race, mate.
thank you. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. But yeah, that was Team Turner. Obviously, we had the interviews beforehand from Gandalf and Simon. Great races from all three drivers, it's fair to say. So congratulations to them. Just seeing in the chat. Thanks for having me back. Oh yeah, I've seen that one already. Yes. Hello, Team Turner. Now, obviously, I see that. Hello to Mr. Poem as well. But yeah, what a race in the end it was for that podium. Obviously, again, congratulations to Gandalf for the victory. Congratulations to Mickey on second position. And yeah, fantastic battle for that place on the podium right at the end. But for this evening, we have been UFRL and we'll be back tomorrow night in Tier 3 for Las Vegas, round 10 of 12. Thank you for watching. We have been UFRL. I have been UFRL F1 Viva. Thank you for watching and good night.